And yeah, looking at the matrix, we always had this in mind. Game week 8, Kane and Son against West Brom. Now, looking at the other options, Werner at Sheffield United is the only other one I think that competes with Kane and Son, but I think it's miles behind. Looking forward, it's all really about Liverpool and City. You've got Salah versus Leicester in game week 9, or you back Sterling or De Bruyne at Spurs. Game week 10, it's Salah at Brighton or De Bruyne or Sterling at home to Burnley. Game week 11, you've got City at home to Fulham, so you're on De Bruyne or Sterling. And game week 12, it's Liverpool at Fulham. So really, it's about having Salah and a City asset after this week, isn't it? I would say. Looking at this week in particular, it's Kane or Son. Now, you mentioned last week about you would consider Son rather as your captain, and you're right. All the data is in Kane's favour. Minutes per XGI and non-penalty, Kane's got expected goal involvement every 117 minutes compared to Son on 152.4, and he's ahead of him for minutes per points, minutes per shot. He's been involved in 14 goals this season compared to Son's 10. No contest. But when you look at the away data, Son is a better option, it seems. But what do you think about that? I mean, we haven't got a big sample of away games, that's the thing. But I looked last season and it was the case then. Not so much, but Son was decent away from home compared to Kane.
I haven't got any stats to back this up, but I think West Brom are weaker down their right side as well, which should suit Son.
Yes. Let me back that up with some data.
Oh, so that wasn't even planned. I didn't even know that. So look at that.
Percentage of chances conceded on the right flank, right? They've conceded 45% of chances on their right flank, which will be where Son is up against their right flank. Now, only team to concede more, or two teams conceded more, that's Southampton and Sheffield United, 46%. Interesting that Sheffield United are 46%, so Chilwell should get some joy down that side. But West Brom have a weakness down that side, right? We've seen it, and the stats bear it out. So Son could be a good option. And if you look at the heat map as well, looking at heat maps here for Kane and Son away from home, Son has actually had more touches in the box, and he's further forward. If you see from Kane's heat map, which isn't great if you're listening to the podcast, but generally what we're showing here is a heat map with Kane dropping deeper away from home and Son having more touches in the box. I think it's 15 touches in the box for Son compared to 9 from Kane away from home. So there is a case for going Son, and I can exclusively reveal that Sever actually got in touch with me and said, I'm captaining Son.
Yeah.
And Zoffor on FPL Wire has gone Son as well, and he's put a big post about it up this week.
Well, I mean, a good comparison is the week before last, Spurs played Burnley away, and who got the returns in that? Son. And who came away with just one assist? Kane. So if you're thinking West Brom's probably going to be a similar type of game to that, probably with more goals for Spurs, but they're playing a team that's definitely going to sit back and aren't going to offer anything going forward. My kind of first thoughts are Kane's better because he doesn't need to dictate play in the middle. He can come forward more. They're going to get corners. He's such a threat of those, not taking them, which is something
for his manager.
So I'm looking at that and thinking a more kind of adventurous and dangerous Kane in that game is good for his captain credentials. But yeah, I mean the right side data on West Brom is interesting, and the fact that he delivered against Burnley, because you think I think someone said in the chat that Son's better against the better teams because they press high and stuff, but like I remember his goals against Burnley last season, Son's, when he ran from like the halfway line and then scored a goal of the season, and delivered again against them. So he's not just a case of they sit deep, so Son isn't going to perform. He clearly can still do well against the deep lying teams. So yeah, I mean perhaps this is really interesting because I was just set on Kane, hadn't even considered.
So was I.
But yeah, the data suggests it could be a lot closer. Yeah, something to think about.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the moment I'm still on Kane, but I think it will go right to the wire. I mean, obviously we've only got till 4:00 tomorrow, which might be a good thing because we're not going to be wringing our hands all night on a Friday evening, waking up Saturday morning. So we've got to make our minds up by tomorrow afternoon. But it's gone from being definitely on Kane to, will I take a risk on Son? I mean, obviously Kane delivered in Europe as well, just a reminder, and he's been tremendous in terms of goals involvement, not just scoring goals but assists. So. And the penalties. But the thing is with Son, he gets the extra point, he's got the clean sheet point. As we saw, West Brom very unlikely to score. It's a close one,
It's
isn't it?
those pens. I think it's those
Yeah.
pens that just swings it to Kane. Because I mean, if anyone's going to commit a foul, it's going to be Ivanovic.
Yeah, West Brom have conceded
he-
penalties this season.
Yeah, as he hacks down Son. So yeah, probably a couple of Son assists, but it's going to be Kane banging in the penalties.
Well,
I'll probably keep it with Kane.
I think I am as well. I'll tweet tomorrow before deadline if I change my mind. But if you don't hear from me on Twitter, I've stuck with Kane.